I'm telling you to take everything, that's not easy to do. The rate is yeah, I basically it's both of us at the same time. I have to move very fast and I can do this slowly. The rate is 20 passes per minute. Per second. Oh, that would be yeah, definitely. But I came up with a yeah, what was your you did it. Yeah. So I said sleep. First one is 0, the second one they all get scheduled at the same time. So it's just taking that's the thing. You are in vacation.
Oh, they were made. I got to where, you know, it's like, I didn't stop mine. The original one there
Yeah, you got it.
Well, we're going to have some presentation works because we need to play this with the camera, so I'm trying to use the secondary camera, and we're just going to emphasize the point is not to look at it with a camera. It's actually shared. But I don't think there's another good way to present it. So it'll take you a few minutes to get set up. Yeah, we're going to have to follow. I don't know how to what's the power situation like? Oh, any rotate functions.
I have a spare.
Yeah, there is.
Well, we got 4 pots.
That'll work. That'll work.
All right.
That'll work.
You need to add some.
That'll work fine.
Okay.
Thank you. There's another one of these cables running around anywhere, or something similar.
There was yesterday.
It'd be nice to be able to put the tablet, next to it without
Yeah, we did have one. But they
took it away.
You know what? We could.
Well, I don't want to take it if someone's using it.
Well, I'm using it, but we can.
Just
There you go.
move that. Thank you. will just take a few minutes to get set up.
No problem.
I'll put it over here so we can grab it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
cool.
So we'll put the tablet there. The webcam can look down onto that. And we have spaces running and then the webcam screen running. So,
And the name of your
Jared, I was running having a stylus.
Oh, right.
Oh, we'll call it,
Just trying to
I
remember.
think what he said is telepaper.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Okay, good.
Good, okay.
Yep. Excellent, thank you. This will look down Thank you. I'll let you know.
What it feels like to again. Yeah, I think it's your project. Still there.
I'm using very stupid mistakes. Meeting the stylus at home. So I made
I'm going to call it.
to go grab that.
And between all that, we have not actually integrated that, but it might benefit greatly.
See how I
And we're going to so, but it may be a underestimated laws. He will be a moose on top.
Yes. Boom. Engine wrote to Oh. Boss, I should get rates for that.
These are all.
About 300.
But it's excellent.
Lover was on our room, I reverted.
Here's a challenge.
Yeah, we're going live.
Let's see.
Okay.
And then I'm also going through Marie County guys, birthday.
So the new number here.
I mean, this will be a lot. Yeah, so we got.
The answer is no, you're not that.
Got a little table sheet.
We might as well move that up,
Yeah.
so we don't have to. We want to grab it.
It's like, you can use that as well if you want. Just one of our other, yeah, that's it.
Do we guys a short?
There's power here. Thank you. Nice, that's the whole point, it's all at the last minute. Let me just move that over once.
I love art right now.
No, I was just going to let you know. We discovered what the problem was with those machines. Yeah. It's like all these engineers and it's just browsing. But anyway, so they're going to send a YouTube video and a YouTube video of the presentation. So that should hopefully avoid any issues with servers. But it might not. Just, we have just one, yeah, I know we ended up very few, and that is.
Do you still need my laptop? Do you still need my laptop?
No, I had muted spaces.
Okay.
So that was the problem.
What was it?
I had muted spaces as a website because of yesterday, so because they were all still watching.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the audio censor, so I didn't know you guys were having that issue, but
Okay.
this should be good.
Well, that's why I gave you a heads up, because I was wondering if there was something that we
Yeah.
set up differently.
Oh, so when you said setup, I didn't know what you were saying. I was like, setup, what do you mean?
Yes,
The Wi-Fi go down, I
I'm
didn't
not
understand what you meant.
going to go up until.
So,
Sorry.
I was stuck in another meeting. I couldn't jump on it.
Even, but I'm going to I'll put you in.
Should be good.
Just set up, I'm not going to run
So basically, we'll start one and
Should be in the live stream.
And then I have the room around the corner if they want to go. All good. Where are the judges?
Okay. No, I'm not seeing it. It's live streaming. It's good. It's
No, I was just curious. Okay.
What's that? Oh, yeah, no, I mean, most people that, you know, I mean, the number of times when the judges are judging, So that's a nice space because everybody's just sitting around waiting. So that's one option. That's yeah. So everything's recording.
I'm just getting sound tape.
You know where he is. All right. Because that would give you so 250. Oh,
Please, put these in here. No. Saving case. Good. We'll hold your spot.
Thank you very much.
So there's no rules. Roll with it. There's no rules. That's what I well, mine is, I see there. My back.
So, go ahead. We'll have two people presenting to. Okay, so do you have an extra one of these?
Yes.
If not, I can hand it over.
We have two of those, either in this or this. We can choose those.
Gotcha.
But we have two of those.
Okay, let's do two of those because we'll have a couple of times where we've got two presenters. Just make sure you post it. So, good. So you can use that to introduce yourself. Yes, no,
You just do this one. And do you want to use Good, you? I know. Well, now you're making sense.
That's just a secondary monitor view. I can flip that. No, it's just
Maybe right now.
So everybody seems to be getting quiet, so I assume it's time to start speaking. So is it coming through? Okay, can you hear me at the back? Don't worry. There you go. He was just turning it up. Great, so welcome everyone to TADHack-mini Orlando at Avaya Engage. Now, before we get going, what I want to do is just give a little bit of recognition that despite a prolonged pandemic, despite a new variant and all the impact that is causing in terms of lockdowns, impacts in terms of whether people can gather, because it's not just people hacking here in Orlando, we have people hacking around the world. We've got pitch videos being sent in as we speak. In fact, I'm just downloading one at the moment, so this is all just in time management. Also, I know several of the team were having to deal with all the Java vulnerabilities back at work, so that impacted how much sleep they got. Actually, none last night. Also, I discovered that running close to Christmas has an impact on some of the teams. When half the team goes off and parties at a Christmas party, and the other half are left hacking by themselves. But all I can say is this is the hardcore. This is the group that it's achieved something pretty impressive. So I'd just like to say, could everyone give a round of applause to everybody who is here, please? Thank you so much. So we're going to run through 8 hacks. It's going to be a little scrappy, so we'll have a pitch, and then we'll have to then get set up between the pitches, because there's a fair bit of equipment and devices that need to be set up. Now, to the judges, okay, it's very easy. The first hack from Red Hat, you ignore. This is a showcase. This is just Red Hat showing off how cool they are, and some interesting stuff that they've built on both their own technology and Avaya's. Then the rest you're going to judge. Okay? The judging's easy. All you're going to do is use your gut. And at the end of it, you're going to tell me what are your top 3 hacks. Okay, we'll go off into a judgely huddle.
We'll agree in terms of what we think should be the top 3, 4, 5, 6, and how the price distribution should work, okay? So that's why we're going to be disappearing. While the judges are off in their judgely huddle, Jenny will be going around with Cree, taking some videos and interviews with some of the hackers. So prepare to be interviewed while you're waiting for the judges' results, okay? So that's my piece over and done with. What I would like to do is to invite the Red Hat team. Would you come on down, please?
Yes. You bet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for everyone for letting us come up here and present. Like you said, no judgment zone, but we really appreciate any feedback or questions. My name is Jeff Allen. And
I'm Daniel Trimposen.
And the one way we are helping the rest of the teams is we are delaying their demos. So we are trying to help people even in this. So one of the ideas that we had, and Daniel really came up with this a lot, was this idea of a chat integration platform. Feedback. So the idea is you might be in Spaces, but want to communicate with someone that's not in Spaces, maybe leveraging just normal SMS or MMS technologies to make them be able to collaborate. And so basically when you look at what we built out here is leveraging the Avaya Spaces API, again in the chat, and then leveraging the CPaaS API for SMS, and then building a number of microservices, connecting the Spaces using Node.js, SMS Bridge with Quarkus, all communicating through Apache Kafka. So as those events and messages are flowing through either Spaces or coming back through SMS, you can have bidirectional communication from that platform. And then as information and individuals are invited, we can have a cache and kind of user directory that says, okay, if you want to invite Doug, Jeff, or Daniel, you can tell them this is maybe within Slack or SMS or voice, and be able to connect and get their contact information and then communicate with them. And so you can see on the right-hand side, there's obviously a lot more extension opportunities. If you wanted to connect out there and use voice to establish a phone call or things of that nature, or third-party communication and messaging platforms, you have the basis and foundation for that integration. So Daniel's going to walk you through a nice little demo that he built, and I will hold the microphone.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, I'm going to close the slide if that's me. Jambled here, 1 second. So this is the output from the messaging. This is actually a small window you don't want to see. I can project it to a second here. How's everybody doing so far? You guys had a good hack?
Hacking away, man.
While I'm cleaning this up, yeah, we said if you cannot contribute to your project itself, we'll contribute to your timeline, right?
That's right.
So here we go. So what we have here, we have the Spaces, and in this case we just set up a room that we were hacking away, and I had to clear the content a little bit, so I put a nice message out for you guys. And what we did is, like Jeff was alluding, we have a couple services running, and one of them got disconnected, so I have my little cheat sheet here. And let me get the consumer in here so you guys can see all the stuff happening. Everybody's hopefully familiar with Kafka, so this the demo gods are a little spotty today. All right, so what we did is we have a way for the Spaces to essentially have a WebSocket listening that detects when there's obviously a message on our particular space, and then it sends the message that was added to the space up to Kafka. And then we have another service in there that listens to Kafka, subscribes to the topic for this particular room, and then either sends an SMS message, or if it came in from an SMS message, sends it to the Spaces. So you have a bidirectional communication. The way we set it up is so that you could add any other form of communication that works for you that you prefer, right? So if I have here a test message, it comes out here, and if this text window goes down, we can see here that, hang on, demo gods, be good. Takes a sec. So, is it going? So essentially what happens, and you can see it from the previous log, so demo gods are not good by connecting and moving around. Maybe my Wi-Fi dropped. So essentially what it did is we have this Node app sitting up here that is listening to the topic, and when the message comes in, it sends it out to a predefined list of recipients. And what we did is, to make it a little bit more interesting, we have the ability to, how do you get somebody to SMS, right? So if you have a Spaces room and you want to invite somebody, the idea is that you send an invitation, and then we pick that invitation up, and everything got scrambled, I'm sorry about that. The idea is there, I send that string, and when I get that string, I parse the string, detect that the protocol is an SMS, anything after invite is the name, and then we have for the protocol, or the method, have the argument, right? In this case, we have a phone number. So I hope you understand how the concept works. We then can register, and then for this particular room, any consecutive message will be sent to that particular destination. And since it works both ways, you can imagine how that works. It doesn't work right now. Apparently, when I switched screens, everything got scrambled. But under the hood, if you're interested in technology, we're using OpenShift Kubernetes platform to run our polyglot application. And some components are written in Quarkus, some of them are written in Node, and we are having a Redis then as a directory that allows you to translate between a phone number and the name. And well, that's what we have. And we have Kafka, obviously, for our message persistent storage, correct?
If you have any questions, feel free to come over and talk to us at the desk. And we really appreciate your time and the opportunity to learn about these APIs.
Excellent. So if the MRT sleeper cell, if you could come on down and get yourselves set up, please.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Not baked. We'll get it unbaked.
Do you too?
Sorry about this. I thought we would be going somewhere near to the end. Wasn't quite prepared.
Don't worry, just sit, take the time. And these are for the judges. These are the ones now you need to pay attention. Red Hat, you need to pay attention. Now it matters.
Now. All right, so we're the MRT sleeper cell team, and we created a Betty bot. So our use case is actually almost exactly what Red Hat did. So thanks for opening us for us. And ours also won't work, so thanks for that as well. But basically, the idea was that we would take an SMS conversation, we're going to send it to Dialogflow, kind of preface that with an agent, a virtual agent, and then determine if they need to speak to a medical personnel. And then if it's determined that they would need to speak to a medical personnel, that personnel would be in a spaces room, and then they would have that full history of the virtual agent. And then we also were kind of in the last stages of getting the virtual assist on there, so we would actually put in like suggested responses for the human agent to give back to the person asking for help. So I had a demo that I was going to go over, but it's not working, so I'm not even going to try to push you through that. It's not ready for that. But the idea was then you would have that virtual assistant, and then the agent assist using spaces to integrate with SMS. That was our idea. And of course, it's not limited to medical. It could be, any sort of support use case. And we had some thoughts about integrating voice too, but we didn't quite get there in time for we didn't get to the SMS in time. So that's that situation. And then we called it BettyBot because in our use case, we kind of did like this, approach for, maybe someone that's afraid of the dark, and then have the agent set up to kind of tease them a little bit, and then they would say, I really want a human, you're not helping me, and then it would transfer to the human, and then of course the human would be more compassionate and, actually help them. So that was the plan there. And this is kind of a flow. We wrote the backend in Golang. So we made an interface from Golang to the CPaaS that's sending and receiving SMS. We also have the interface with Golang to Dialogflow. And that we could send the message to Dialogflow, get the virtual agent response. We had a little bit of hiccup with the agent assist, but the Google team is looking into that to see what happens. And then we also had the Golang attachment into Avaya's spaces. So we got all that, but we just didn't quite get to where everything tied together. So unfortunately, thought we might be able to get there before this presentation. But that's our project.
Okay, so what I suggest is if you could come down and have a little Q&A with the judges,
sure.
And then if the Convergence 1 guys, if you can come on down and get yourself set up while they're doing some Q&A, all right?
Is there a whiteboard or something that we can use while we're up there?
There's whiteboard there, you can grab it, bring it up.
This to...
Oh, I'll take it.
Just didn't have time to get it done. Yeah. Not the voice piece, right?
Maybe up here so we can...
Yeah, because it'll block the screen otherwise.
Yeah, so our main business really, we work with marine investment.
So I know him very well, so those guys, they were just say, okay, so I know. That's makes another one.
Yeah, so we work with
Yeah, good. Yeah, I know you guys do a lot of it. It's too bad, right? So I know you guys do.
Hey, what's happening? This guy's from MRT, missed it, they just presented. So thanks, my boss. C1's next, yeah. Where's? Jeff, maybe that's it. Hey, Ryan, any thoughts?
I'm in
It's fine.
Thanks, guys, good job.
No worries. Yep, you got it.
Hey guys, good morning. My name is Brent Bailey. We are with Converge One. This is David Matheson, Kevin Kramer. Our project that we've been working on off and on the past 2 days is the meeting venue. It's not something that's incredibly new. In fact, Alan's TADHacks have covered this in the past. David Horton via Dropdio created a great presentation. If you have a chance, go out there and Google it. He's a great guy, he's got great resources out there. So we appreciate his work, Alan's work, putting everything together. What the functionality that we provide is solves the work from home or constantly overloaded employee. So specifically, and I'm sure you guys have all run into this scenario, you're at home, your kids need you, your dog needs you or something, and you're not at your desk and you've got to attend the meeting. Our meeting minion will take care of that for you. So this is a dialogue flow bot, but we also work with other platforms. We have access to GPT-3 to do some NLP out there, but this AI engine will dial into the Spaces meeting for you and then attend on your behalf. That meeting minion can execute all kinds of intents out there. Right now we have an intent that's set up to say, ask for the participant who is being helped by the meeting minion. So that AI engine will conference in that employee, or rather it texts them first to say, can you please join the people in that meeting conference need you. It can also send an SMS message text to that employee to say, hey, they have a specific question for you. Can you quickly answer it? Is this something you can resolve pretty quickly? And that employee can use their phone and text back. That audio will be sent back into the meeting so every participant can get their quick answer and not have your full-time attendance. So that is the overview. We'll try to execute it just like the last team. We did a great job presenting. We got everything there, the last bit of pieces, linking everything together. It was just right where we left off. So it's not 100% functional, but certainly something that we can execute without issue. From a resource perspective, we use CPaaS heavily. Obviously, that's the goal here. So we use it to send SIP messages out. We initiate the calls from the Avaya CPaaS. We also can receive calls to the Avaya CPaaS. And all those calls originate from, not directly from the CPaaS, but through a SIP connection. And that SIP connection goes back to our Converge One Media Gateway. We also obviously use it to send and receive SMS messages. And all that is invoked through Node-RED flows in the back end, so we can respond back to that employee. Am I missing anything? Oh, yes. All right. So the triggering events in Spaces. So when we started this process, we were like, we were going to add all of these features to it. And, you know, of course, your eyes are bigger than your mouth. And so we feed into the Spaces conference meeting, but we also have some triggering events. So if you are not, you are the employee, and when I role play this in a second, Frank will be the employee. So if I, Frank, am not at my desk, we can actually detect that. We thought of the idea is to use the magic bands, the Disney magic bands. They have near field RFID 915 megahertz out there. We can actually pick that up through a software-defined radio plugged into a Raspberry Pi. So we can tell that you're in your general vicinity of your office laptop. The code that we use there is from RTL 433. It's great code. We'll put it up on Git. We can actually even tap into motion sensors. So your home alarm system, we can tell if you have, let's say, a Honeywell, it's all published code out there. If you have a motion sensor in your room, we can tell that there's a person occupied there. We can't necessarily tell that it is you, like you can from a band. That same code can even tap into your tire pressure monitoring system, so we know that your car's in the driveway. We can tap into all kinds of these over-the-air frequencies to determine that you are actually at your computer. The other triggering event is Amazon Echo that we built, and we'll go through a quick demo of that. Kevin, you want to take over?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so like Brent said, the Magic Band gives us our presence, and one of the ideas that we had is that it'd be able to find us wherever we are. So if we're out, instead of it sending a message through Spaces to contact us, it'll go ahead and send an SMS. If we are at our desk, it will send us a message through Spaces, through a direct message that Frank, the meeting minute, will go ahead and reach out to us. So trying to bring that full hybrid, multimodal connectivity to everyone. But so if we had a smart device, smart speaker, we could say, Alexa, open meeting menu. We could say that 5 minutes ago. Alexa, open meeting menu.
Well, I listened to this all morning.
Yeah, all morning. This is the one that worked.
I should use the Google Home.
Alexa, exit.
Okay.
Alexa's going to sleep.
Alexa is killing you.
Okay.
So, anyways, the idea is that you could tell your smart speaker that we'll go ahead. Yeah, I have something. So,
More time.
People can hear you.
Okay.
You two folks speaking.
So anyways, the idea is that we would be able to say, Alexa, open meeting menu.
I'm having trouble connecting.
The internet was the thing this time.
Yeah, I think there was a glitch on the Wi-Fi.
So anyways, we'd be able to say, hey, attend my meeting tomorrow at noon for me. And it'd say, okay, I'll attend your meeting. I'll let you know if they say your name or if they mention you, or is there anything else? And we could say, oh, you know what? If they're talking about Avaya Spaces, let me know. So that way we're able to give keywords that we can focus in on either as my minion or collectively we could go ahead and reach out to other resources we need. That way we're bringing in the resources we need, me personally, or Frank personally, so that he can keep on going on vacation and we don't have to bug him every 5 seconds.
Well, we've talked about him being with the family in a way, but one of the real world issues that we deal with is multi-booked, or if we're in a doctor's appointment that came up after the appointment was accepted. This gives you the ability to be doing other things and for the meeting to reach out to you when it's your turn, also for the ability for the meeting to pull you in. So with that, let's go ahead and if you want to join the meeting.
Yeah, I'll go with my phone. Since Alexa's on.
You guys use that mic. For this presentation, we're going to go ahead and
Frank, for anything, please let me know.
hold the mic up there for a second so you can hear, and disconnect and call back in. So just before I give it a start here, Kevin's going to pretend to call in. It's automated too, so we can click dial to send the HTTP trigger to dial into that Spaces meeting. But this is the bot that we wrote to simply listen into that conversation and listen for those intents to say, please ask Frank, the employee, a question, or please help out or join the meeting. So go ahead, and I will be Frank. They will be on the bridge.
Hi, I'm Marty, the meeting minion. If you need Frank for anything, please let me know.
So we could just talk like normal, we could say things, like, hey, I heard there was a big job of vulnerability that just came up, are we getting that taken care of? And, if he's the guy for it, we could say, that we need to bring him on because this is a major thing. So, hey, can we get Frank to dial into the bridge? Can we get Frank on the bridge, please?
I'll get Frank for you right now.
Yay, something works.
Okay, and I'm Frank. I'm away, we deal with my kids. I'm trying not to fall off the cliff here. And I get the message. In fact, when the meeting started, I get a message that says, "Hi, this is your virtual assistant. I just joined your meeting." Text a response that will send back into the meeting bridge, or text join to attend. So I did join. I got the request to join the meeting, and at which point the CPAS platform will call out to us. And again, this is a manual process right now, just because we just missed our deadline. So. And now I've received my phone call from CPAS. I will pick it up. Audio.
You entered line. This space ID does not exist. Please re-enter your space ID. Followed by pound.
Okay, let me get our spaces ID. That's the other piece that we missed on here too, to automate the sending of the meeting ID.
So 565-422-435.
And then so now I'm joined in. I can say, "Hey guys, I just got your message. How can I help you with a question?" And then you can respond back with, something about that.
Fix it.
Log for J. Yeah, Log4j. I don't know. Yeah, put WAF filters out there. Not sure.
Okay, you can wrap it up, guys.
Yep. So essentially that's it. We can also go through the process of sending the request. I can text the message back into. That will be spoken on that meeting bridge. I think that's it. Covered it. Yeah. Okay. Guys, thank you for your time.
Now, Megan, is Megan in the room? Oh, there you go. Could you get the spaces set up on here so Ryan can join us? Because Ryan's joining us remotely. Yeah, it's just in the general space. I think he's already got a video call running. Yeah, I don't know where the laptop is.
Do you want to use whole laptop?
Oh, yeah, because I already had it logged in on it.
No. Okay.
You mentioned about telling it, hey, I have a meeting from you, and so you're telling it you want other type of board members. But with the presence, if you know you're not there, if you forgot to ask it, it would still just
Oh, there you go.
and said,
Sorry.
if I'm not within the distance
I know.
of my PC.
Shift the position, or we'll
asked it to her.
we'll get Ryan set up, okay? And then we'll move on to you. It's okay, we're relaxed, as long as you hear, when you get through that. Yes, that's the rest. That's the rest. Yes. No, I got that.
Oh, that's
what.
Yeah.
He's not in there anymore.
Ryan's not in there?
The official hackathon space, the
In
TADHack-mini.
general, he's there. Oh.
He was on at 4 in the morning yesterday. We were helping him.
Yeah, he was
Tired.
there.
He might not be, he said something about I'll send a video.
Okay. It says hello connecting.
Hey, Ryan.
Oh.
What's that? Your ass man? We're gonna hook you up, 1 second.
So I can find it.
Okay.
So Ryan, it's gonna look like you're not listening.
But I think it's second model. So, you know, we need
We're just getting you set up.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I mean, just send it.
Is that what we should do?
Yeah, and I'll just take the content and, you know, sort out what they've got, whether it's pre-recorded or they want to go live, or we'll make it happen.
Okay.
Feedback.
Very cool.
Okay, Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, so we can hear you, we can see the screen that you're sharing, so go ahead whenever you're ready.
Great, thank you everyone. Hi, my name is Ryan Harrigan. I'll be really quick with my presentation. I wasn't able to finish the demo, unfortunately, but I had a lot of fun, and I'd love to at least bring you through the journey that I went through. So I had a concept of this thing called game fans. There we go. So essentially, game fans was using the Avaya Spaces API to hold a virtual meeting. So you can see some bullet points here. The concept was to bring fans from wherever they are on their mobile devices to the game, to the big screen with Jumbotron. And a moderator would be essentially one of those meeting members that can select or curate any one of those fans' video streams. So like stuff like video effects and splicing into a live stream in the game would be possible. So a little bit of background, my motivation on this. Here in Orlando, in the summer of 2020, there was a NBA bubble for the playoffs. And one of the coolest things that I thought came from that was this gigantic Microsoft Teams wall of fans being in the virtual meeting. That's it. And big screen just kind of showing to the players that, hey, we're here. So that was one, if you put that in your mind, that's essentially where I was trying to go to. But I thought of other use cases where a lot of parents now are connecting into their children's like sports games and stuff like that. This would be a very easy, wherever you can run essentially a virtual meeting is essentially where you can have this type of application. So let's just say there's a curator, one of the people in the meeting, they would be able to at least like curate in some sense, pick and choose any one of the video streams. So
hey Ryan, sorry to interrupt. Could you just refresh your slides? They're not updating on the presentation.
All right, which one did you see last?
It's sort of like we're seeing a mosaic at the moment. That's weird. Oh, okay. Now we do have the Spaces product manager in the room.
Unshare and share screen again.
Okay, just unshare, then share your screen again.
Okay.
can see you loud and clear, but try sharing. Okay, game fans. I see game fans. No? Okay. Oh.
It's the internet.
It's the Wi-Fi.
It's the Wi-Fi.
It's the Wi-Fi stick
Yeah.
in this room.
So is there a fix here?
Well, how about then, instead of, let me,
It's a live.
okay, well, I hope,
Ryan, can you go off the video?
if,
If you close this.
I kind of went through most of it, so, thank you for, let's just cut it off there. I do have some thank yous to say. So really just 3 people. Andrew Cookop, Lucas Springonas, and Hyunjin Tuck. Just really appreciate being able to talk to you and kind of figuring out where this project was going. So thank you.
Excellent, that was great. Thank you so much, Ryan. Okay, so what I suggest we do is we've got another hack that's remote, but it's a video, so we're reducing the degrees of freedom. So I'll play that video, and then we'll get them on the Q&A on Spaces, okay? So hopefully that way it'll work, all right? Okay. So we'll leave that one.
I'm not going to leave the video on now.
Okay.
But we'll be able to see it here.
Let's get this one set up. Oops, I need my adapter.
Playing the video from the
Yeah, it'll have audio as well, yeah. Oh, it's okay, I have mine. I just need to get the audio connected as well.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Is it still sort of the call comes in and it goes back in? Yeah. And then it goes down.
Is there any audio on that? Let me just try one other option,
Get the message.
Can you go up in the audio in your laptop?
Our solution is smart rescue powered by Avaya. I wanted to make sure that whatever I'm going through, I can participate with correct or not. Okay, that's it, done. Okay, I think that's it from big trails for flood. So Alex integration. Thank you.
Too many screens. Let's try again.
So our solution is smart.
Here you go. Right. Okay. We're nearly there. We're just minimizing degrees of freedom. Okay.
It's for all our own best interest.
So this is Smart Rescue powered by Avaya Fly Monitor. So this is from Alec Tirias and Kalyani, and we're going to play this, and then hopefully on Spaces do some Q&A with them. All right. So let's just play.
Rescue powered by Avaya Fly Monitor, and we are Alok, Tejas, and Kalyani. So our solution is basically for disaster management. I am using Avaya products. So there are different sections. One is before, so using Avaya tool before a disaster, one is during disaster, and one is post-disaster. So this is the high-level architecture. We have people calling to a local helpline number, and then that call getting answers from dialog flow. We have Avaya Spaces connecting to a drone where live footage of the drone can be monitored by different stakeholders. We have Toolwire integration for Spaces learning for taking up different courses in disaster management. We have TADHack APIs for verifying the caller's number to make sure that it's not a fraud call. We have used CPaaS integration for sending SMS back to the caller in case of certain use cases. So first use case is the Spaces learning, where person wants to help in a disaster. So let's play the use case quickly.
What can I do for you today? I can assist you
User
with
has
the
made a
following
call.
options. 1. Emergency rescue. 2. Find a family. 3. Volunteer for rescue operations. 4. Check if you are safe.
Volunteer in rescue operation.
Thank you for showing your interest in volunteering. Please tell me your name and location.
My name is Jim Foster and nearby location is Museum of Art, Florida.
Give us a moment while we find more details and notify team about your interest. Thank you for your help in this hour of need. We appreciate your efforts. We will send you the details soon.
So what happened here is the user received an SMS with the learning link, and he has to complete a course and assessment to join the team for disaster management. And the Spaces, the backend dialog flow also sent a message to Spaces using Node backend, and where the information regarding the user was notified. Let's move to the next. Second use case, asking for help.
1. Emergency rescue. 2. Find a family. 3. Volunteer for rescue operations. 4. Check if you are safe.
Emergency rescue.
Okay, tell me, what do you need help with? 1. Flood. 2. Earthquake. 3. Fire.
I am trapped into earthquake situation.
No problem. I need your location details for evacuating you. Can you please tell me the city and nearby landmark?
I am in New York City and nearby landmark is Empire State Building.
Give us a moment. Let me reach out to concerned team as soon as possible. Please stay calm. I have got your details and the team is on their way.
Okay, so what happened here is when a person in emergency or asking for help for someone else makes a call, his details are taken, and then those are given back to the rescue team. So even in the first case, if you see, the phone number got verified by TADHack APIs, and information was shared with the Spaces admin.
Assist you with the following options.
Okay, so let's move ahead. So now the person has asked for help, emergency help. So rescue team will send their people to the location, and let's see what happens. Okay, we skip this lost family member use case where details of the lost person are noted and then the person can be called back at a later point.
Check if you are safe.
Find a family.
Okay, I'll move to next. Okay, so if you want to test it live, you can make a call to this number and you can also connect to the space to get the admin messages. Okay, the next important use case is the drone integration. So what we have done is we have a mobile application which uses the Spaces mobile SDK and it uses the drone SDK. And when a drone connects to the mobile and the Spaces application that we have created using the SDK, it connects to the drone and it is able to relay the drone footage back to the Spaces backend on a space meeting room where other stakeholders can join and different actions can be taken. So let's go to the live video quickly.
So I just
So this is a Spaces meeting where the drone is connected and people are connected.
Yes. Okay. Let me fly the beta. Now let me show you the damage.
So the person is showing the damage done in the earthquake.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Can you please take the recording of this place?
Sure.
The drone controller is operating and then
recording the video,
taking the audios and photos and videos. So let's see some other use cases where exactly what happens drone, which will get connected to the space as a user. I'll just showcase that quickly. So what happens over here is the drone gets connected to the space and the drone controller shares the screen where the video footage can be streamed to the other side. What you can see right now is the drone footage that I just showed right now. So I have a few options over here. I can capture a picture, start a recording. So I will capture a picture. So the picture is captured and then it will get shared with the space automatically. Once it is shared, it's got shared. Then we have video as well. So I can just move the drone around a bit. So the user is recording the video to fly the drone in reality. And the video gets saved on the drone, download. It is downloaded on the phone and it gets shared on the space in real time. So that was a bit delayed. This video is being sent now to the space location. So the over here, space on space. You can also get a location of where I can see it. I can draw a geofence around the disaster affected area, which can be used later. Then I can fetch the geolocation of the drone right now. Because I'm at home, it will not return the latitude longitude correctly. But when I'm outside, it will return the right latitude longitude and it will get shared and in the chat. Anyone can view the location. So if you want to see a live demo, just join the space and request for live demo. This is the Spaces Learning integration. Okay, so the Spaces Learning platform by Avaya. It will help us with the learning abilities that people can take up. So there are a lot of courses over here and quizzes. So we can go through a few quickly. So a person can become an expert drone flyer by following the course given over here. So there is a course how to fly a drone, which has basics, which I have already completed. In that, I can click on play. It will redirect me to the tutorials. Then I have some guides as well, which I can open. Okay, let's move ahead to make sure that whatever I've gone through, I can participate will correct as well now. Okay, that's it, done. Okay, I think that's it for now. Quick drills for flood. So next integration. Thank you.
Yay, we had one more. Let me check to see if,
Hello, guys.
I don't know who that is. Alec is there.
Do you have it very much?
Hopefully. Oh, there he is. Hey, Alec, how are you? Just hang a sec. Let me. Can you hear us?
He's muted.
Oh, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
We had that problem earlier today. Let me hand you over to the judges. So who wants to go first? Who wants to chat with Alec first? We had that problem earlier today. Let me just... Who wants to go first? Who wants to chat? Let me just get rid of the live stream.
I think there is a delay.
Yeah, just hang on a sec. We've got too many live streams going. Okay, can you hear us now? Is it good now? I'll find it in a minute. Okay, Alec, can you hear me now? No delay? Okay, there you go. You have a chat with these guys.
Hi.
Well, Genesis, if you can set yourself up.
Good job, thank you. Great job, guys.
Come on down, Genesis.
Can you maybe just mention the pieces that you used to put the solution together again?
Just let me stop the video.
We're getting there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
So my question was, could you just go over the
that's
pieces that you used to
Thunderbolt.
put the solution together? I know that you had mentioned
This
just
one
like.
has all the
Yes. So we have used the Dialog Plus EX telephone integration from Avaya. That is used for the Dialog Plus communication with the caller who calls on a telephone helpline number. And that integrates with the Node.js backend. And Node.js backend talks with Avaya spaces. So where we connect the Node backend to a space. So all the communication that the user has is both
We'll make it work, one way or the other.
Avaya space. For the rescue operation or any other operation. Concern messages. So that is the first thing. Second thing is we have we have done integrated CFast API as well to send back SMS to users who have made a call, and in certain cases we need to get back the SMS.
Yeah.
For that we have used messaging. Then we have used the spaces API to let the spaces mobile SDK.
Okay. Does anybody have, now this is old school, DisplayPort to HDMI? I did, but it got stolen maybe 2 or 3 years ago. DisplayPort to HDMI. DisplayPort, the square one that has like a little shade.
Can he call into a
Good? Okay. Yay! Oh. So you're all set up? Yep, let me just give you the microphone.
have done basis learning integration right now through WAC. So whoever wants to courses on the disaster management can take the courses to and get a certification.
Yeah. And we are running out of time here, but it is excellent.
Yeah, very good job.
We especially love the fact that we use like drone or something so that we can really show where IoT or any of these smart devices can be connected. A generic, antenna top and so, and also the fact that we use a lot of the platform API capabilities of C++. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We need your work in the end. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, Genesis. Wait, I'm forgetting speaker. There you go. Over to you. Oh, you could.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Genesis and my project is MetaShop. So my hack has to do with the metaverse. We've already started to see different brands creating VR experiences and also AR experiences. And with the metaverse becoming a new topic of the web, I think we will start to see meta stores. So I have an example here. This is like an AR store, Fendi, and you can interact with different items with these different GUI options. So I built a 3D interactive web app that lets you shop, chat with other users, and request help. And that's powered by the Avaya APIs. And my tech stack is Node.js, Express, and Socket.io for the server, and just to set up like the basic web app. And then on the client side, I rendered the 3D models with Babylon.js, which I just started learning a couple weeks ago. And then just jQuery Bootstrap for styling. And then the APIs I use are the orchestration APIs to set up like a customer service agent. And then the Avaya Spaces API to create like a live chat room with the other users. And now I can go to the demo. Alright, so this is the starting scene. You can walk around the store and you can interact with the different items. And then if you go up to the register and you click help, the web chat comes up. And you can chat with the AI. And then whatever I have set up in my flow in Avaya Cloud, that's what's going to come up. So I just have an about section, and there's my about. And then I also included the Smalltalk AI. I just wanted to see what that was like. I've never used anything like this before, and I feel like it would be useful for this as well. And then the other feature is the live chat powered by Spaces. So I'm going to connect, and now I can type a message, and you'll see it down here. And if I actually go to the space, you'll see the message right here, to 11 p.m. And now I'm going to open another window to simulate there being another user in the chat room. Hello. And now Alan's message is on my page, and then I can reply back, and there it is. So that's basically it. Thank you to the mentors that helped me. I'm glad I was able to learn something and use the APIs. They're very useful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So if you can come down and chat with the judges, Genesis, okay, and then if the telepaper guys, if you can come on down and get yourself set up. Now, Genesis was, it was one of the first external hacks out of university, was TADHack-mini Orlando 4 years ago now, I think. So it's great, Genesis is back, hacking again in Orlando. So again, thank you for joining us, and please have a chat with the judges. Okay, so you get yourself set up, guys.
Yes, I need to. This is not SBCH. Can you, he's got one. Can you grab it? Thank you. Oh, I see. It's hiding on the side. I'll do this. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys,
That was great, thank you. Was it the board for them?
It was on the board before. Most people should be. This was working for us.
We are using
They were not. So somebody could win. That's for this room.
Sure. Yeah. Is there a second one?
Yes. Move, just so you're in good shot.
Yeah, check 1, 2, 1, 2.
They're okay.
Start the server, I gotta start that, and then we should be ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't want to be.
No, I don't mind at all.
I can take some of these spots off if it lasts too much.
It's looking like.
I'll give you this. And I'll change.
Yeah, let's see if we can do that. Thank you. We will just all be.
That's the best. Yeah, because now what we've done is it's no longer the spots, it's just a square. So.
Yeah, that might work a little better. Tilting it, you think? Yeah, you can try tilting. Yeah, actually. Good enough. I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready.
Excellent. So it feels almost like just a couple of months ago we were hacking together.
Yeah, it does feel like that. It feels exactly like that.
Anyway, I'll hand over to Team Telepaper.
Sure.
Hello, Adam.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm David.
I'm Jared.
And we are Team Telepaper.
This is Project Telepaper. So this project came about because we did some some brainstorming, some analysis on what exactly we thought what was missing from the human element of the connectivity that we've been forced into over the course of the pandemic. And my background is actually as a tutor. I work at a tutoring center, Heinz Learning Center. And I do exam prep primarily, and occasionally I do stuff over Zoom, right? I do sessions over Zoom. And what is often missing from that experience, right, is the spontaneity, right? So, particularly on Zoom, right, the user interface has it so that if I were to share my screen, the screen fills up the entire,
It's the whole monitor.
It's the entire monitor, right?
It takes away that human aspect, that face-to-face.
And I need that face-to-face. I want to be able to see the kid, see their reactions and, gauge their interactivity levels and things like that, because that's a huge part of my job. So a possible solution to this would be a concept of telepaper, right? So,
Yes. This is a display that lives next to your keyboard. This is something that everyone from students to engineers to really anyone that needs that interactive element in their video conferencing or phone calls and just isn't getting it with existing solutions can have this sitting next to their keyboard. Tablets like this are becoming very affordable. This one was under $200 on Amazon. And while maybe not attainable for everyone, certainly something that a company could buy their co-workers and the people that need to do the video conferencing. What we've done is and I hope you can see this. The first step is, since it is a secondary display, we've displayed.
Jared,
I got it. Thank you. We've displayed your most recent contacts and the order they've contacted you, along with the last time of contact. When you go to choose one, it immediately after you click on the contact, it immediately starts sharing your paper with them. So we've got a lined notepad background to emphasize that human element. And I'm I'm going to go ahead and, let's say we were tutoring someone, going to go ahead and just draw out. Oh no. Well, I was going to draw out. Hold on one moment. Let's see. That's when we hooked up the second one. We've got an issue with the second monitor, and we've got no way to display it. What I'm going to do is actually take this off for a moment, and I'm going to tilt this where we can hopefully show you, if I come down here. So this is your lined notepad paper, and what I'm going to attempt to do is, if you were tutoring, it'd be something like 8 times 8 equals, and I've not left much room, so I'm hoping that there, by some stroke of luck, is enough room. Thank you very much. He's drawn sideways because I'm not very good at leaving enough room. But you get the idea. This is a shared piece of paper, essentially, that brings back that interactivity and that human touch. All of the napkin sketches that you could do in person when you were all working in the same room, but can no longer because of the pandemic, everything like that, you can draw diagrams. Let's go ahead and I'll draw a square. If you could maybe circle that. So there's instant markup, you get instant feedback, and you get all of the benefits of, you know, 2 people scribbling on a shared piece of paper that you used to have that no longer exists. Or if it does exist in something like Spaces, you take away that face-to-face, or at least diminish it. And that's what this is aiming to fix.
So the sponsors.
Sponsors.
We did use, Avaya Spaces, right? We also used Subspace. We're using the Packet Accelerator for Subspace. We wanted to use OpenShift, and that is something that we would use later.
We did actually spin up through OpenShift. We spun up a server, and very cool technology. I love it. So, yeah, and I would love to say that Alex from Subspace got us set up with Packet Accelerator in like, literally, what was that, 2 minutes?
It was like 2 minutes.
Second count. It was fantastic. We thought we were not going to be able to implement Subspace. Turns out, just fantastically easy, and we did notice a speed boost, even though this is going from here to my server 20 miles away back to here. Yeah. Still saw improvement, and it literally took 3 minutes to set up. So thank you very much.
Okay, so get yourself set down and then have a chat with the judges and Team Bender, if you will come on down. Now I always ask this because I think Team Bender is our last hack. Is there anybody else waiting to present? Good, okay. That's always really embarrassing when you say, I know our last hack.
Yeah.
More around me. Thank you.
Like that and that hand maybe put it on top here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
How are you all doing? Thank you.
And then we can, we will be able to extend this on different colors for people working.
We'll be able to do whatever. we ran constraints, but we envision everything from take an image on your screen, immediately show it on here, so that someone, I work in the engineering department, and someone being able to just give instant feedback of just cut this way, invaluable. We don't do it on that. Can't do anymore, or if you do,
When I was thinking about like the regular whiteboard, and you mentioned about seeing, but a lot of us don't have touchscreen laptops, and so you're drawing other people's vision, so I like
it also feels like one of the nice things is when you can draw, you can put your hand right here and then draw just like on the page. And it feels like it brings back a little bit of that human interactivity that we've lost during the pandemic.
That's it. And I mentioned Ezekiel, but when he was replying, or, adding his thing, so both ends have the tablet.
I'll just introduce.
Both ends have the tablet, and it becomes one report. It gets added on one end, on the other. So it's literally like you're sitting at a table with.
It's alive!
And then there's a secondary display, so it doesn't take away your face-to-face, it doesn't use up any of your monitors.
And then the other one is the new feature from Cycling, and the immersive one, so we can actually put our faces as a button there. You may be able to use that one also. There's a screen share there.
We'll definitely look at that.
Yeah, then I think it will look awesome, because then you can feel like that you can still see the people there rather than,
Absolutely.
It makes it more personal.
Yeah, absolutely.
More personal, so I think you should.
We will.
It will be awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, there's no prize for winning this prize, but I arrived in at about 7:30 this morning, and there was a team member from Team Zero that was sleeping on the table. I'm not going to name names, but we don't recognize that. That's too much dedication to it.
I have to do the scroll.
So we have an order answer.
Yeah.
So we have to plug that
I can move this up there.
Be careful. Stretching you.
While they're all setting up, I'll just tell you guys brief introduction to what we built. Basically, we built a robot bartender. So, essentially, we used a bunch of technologies in order to step into the future. And as we know, there's still a pandemic going on, and a lot of processes have become contactless, and as we start to socialize again, there are many places where we need to be interacting with a lot of people. A bar is a classic example of a place where we need to have close social interactions, but the less the better. And plus, this is also a typical example of how a supply chain problem manifests itself in real life. You have one bartender, you have a lot of drinks, a lot of people, but the bottleneck is the bartender. So we used programmable communications in order to automate a lot of this process. So essentially, what we envisioned is an end-to-end experience where you only interact with the robot, and you can get a drink or any kind of service that requires some level of intelligence on the server side. If
during at the beginning of the hackathon, we actually ran this idea by some people, and it was mentioned that there is this bar in Las Vegas that has a robot bartender, but if you have been there, you will also know that it only has preset drinks, and you can just say, I want that, and all it does is a mechanical pour. There's no level of artificial intelligence which actually determines what would you like customized with it. What we did is take that a step further. We integrated programmable communications, ingested user input via voice and text, did some NLP entity recognition, and then understood what the customer actually needs. You want a gin and tonic, more gin, less tonic. That's very simple, 1 second statement. But a machine does not understand that right away. So what we did is we trained a model that's able to understand nuances of doing a service via a multi-turn or a two-turn conversation where we query the system or query the user for their customizations. All right, so how does it work? You order a drink via multiple channels. We used pretty much everything that we had our hands on for this hackathon. We used Avaya virtual agents. We used CPaaS. You can order via text, via a phone call. We use Dialogflow. And also, we had an integration with Avaya Spaces where there's a virtual agent that can take your order. Psychic powers are not available currently. Then our agent is able to ascertain what kind of drink you want. We had just some classic recipes that we downloaded and we got the ingredients for. And then we used NLP to be able to customize what kind of customizations you want in your drink. Straight, on the rocks, more ice, less water, etc., etc. And finally, to make it a complete end-to-end experience, we noticed that when you go to pick up your drink, you still need to interact with the person. So that part we overcame by using QR codes, a combination of QR codes, MMS, as well as face recognition. So essentially what you do is, without using the internet, if you don't have the internet, you send an MMS of your selfie. And when you go up to the drink station or when you go up to the bar, it kind of recognizes you with the face recognition and gives you a QR code. And show the QR code to our automated system, which then does the pour and gives you the drink. And like I said, we used pretty much everything we had access to. I'd like to thank all the great sponsors and mentors who helped us, the Red Hat people late last night, Subspace for packet acceleration. We did use packet acceleration in order to run commands to our robot and in our backend services. All right. And here's a little demo video, and then we're going to do a live demo. Okay.
So this is the landing page for Dungeon On. Here the user will start by ordering on. Then you post that slide. And this will take you to a portal where you can see their order, which will also give them a receipt. Right to fear. Right. See the question. The goal is like just to store it. And that order his name is Jack. So he wants to order roughly, $15.
Okay. So you can select your thing, but this will be going into a variable, right? So apologies for the audio. Input that. So this essentially prints out your tag as you enter a bar. And then you go to the next one.
Then it cuts over to you where you get.
I want a Jack in Coke.
One more time.
Jack in Coke. So the NLP and the speech recognition isn't very accurate.
Okay, coming right up.
But it did finally recognize what I meant. More Jack, less Coke. Please, no judgment. I'm not an alcoholic.
More Jack, less Coke.
So that is our emulated robot pour. So the robot, as you see, is here, and we're going to show it off live. So that essentially shows you the flow of how we were able to order or make an order of a beverage and then have the system serve it to us. So I am going to show you guys how it's done live, and hopefully the live demo gods will be generous on me. So for brevity's sake, I'm not going to do the entire stand and print your face on the QR code. Although if you do want to see it, we have it all set up over there. So let's just do this.
Hey there, Unit. Welcome to Vendor's Drunk Arm, run by me, Vendor. What can I do you for? What can I get you?
Can I get a Jack in Coke?
Okay, coming right up. Do you want that as is or with customization?
Less Coke, more Jack.
Alrighty.
Medication. Don't forget to tip your bartender.
All right, so as you've seen, we pretty much have a whole flow where we have the minimal number of required human interactions. Obviously, you cannot boil down human interaction to zero, but with the current technology we had on hand to us for the last 2 days, this is what we've been doing and we've been building, and we have had 0 drinks so far, even though we made a bartender. Thank you, and any questions?
Any questions?
How do I have different intents for the drinks? If I want a Guinness.
So what we did essentially is we made entities which are ingredients, and then we had also modifiers, more, less, a little bit, none. So we combined the ingredients entity with the modifier, and that's how it knows. So for example, here in our use case, there's 2, and the way we control it is basically the angle that it pours over, and the time it takes is controllable. And that's basically how the NLP connects to more this and less that. Yes.
With the QR code and the facial recognition, is that how you verify the age requirement? Is that an element of it?
Well, we could, essentially what we do with the QR code is you're supposed to send, we have an MMS consumption endpoint, which basically you're supposed to send a selfie with your ID. So what we do is essentially we read, first of all, we match your face and the ID, and then we read it off the ID. And if that check passes, then it goes into the rest of the form. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent, well done, guys. So Jenny, Megan, where do we go now for the Judgely Huddle? No. You find out from Megan. I just need to get all the live streaming down and stop the recording for the time being. Okay, so people can relax and not know they're being live streamed, okay? Great job, guys.